my money right. You tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Let up the suicide doors. This is my life, homie. You decide yours. I know that Jesus died for us, but I couldn't tell you who the side was, so I'm parallel to park that motherfucker sideways. Oh.
What's up, Unjobbles Nation? We're here today with another Best Ball Mania live stream draft. I'm excited. It's a beautiful day today. It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. As always, I'm your host, Josh Lee, and let's just jump right into it. No more dilly-dallying. This is we're straight off of 2 guest live streams, but we're back. You're stuck with me, back and better than ever. Let's go ahead and share the screen so all of y'all can follow along. Here we go, and let's just hop straight into another draft room. We're waiting on 7 people, so we got a little bit of waiting to do, but I've been consuming a lot of best ball content recently, for better or for worse. Not really sure. But I think it helps us play the game a little bit smarter. Listening to Pat Carrain and Eric over at Spike Week discuss kind of Week 17 correlation and how important it is. And the more and more I think about it, I think that that's kind of the key to winning Best Ball Mania. I'll get into a little bit more on what I believe my actual key is. But it's really important. I don't think I can stress enough the importance of building in correlated Week 17 teams. Because kind of the thing that Pat Carrain said that really resonated with me was, if you make it to the finals in Best Ball Mania 4 and you finish in 50th, you win $5,000. Let's go ahead and just take a peek at what the Best Ball Mania structure really is. If you finished in 50th, you win $15,000. If you finish in 51st, you win $5,000. Great, you got your money back for max entering Best Ball Mania 4. I think that that's not. If you finished in 50th, you finished in the top 0.005% of entrants. You are one of the best teams in Best Ball Mania 4. And you only win $5,000. It's crazy. So that's why we really want to do everything in our power to win that $3 million. Everything in our power to win the $3 million. And the way that you do that is you construct your roster like a DFS lineup. You build it with a bunch of correlations. I played a little bit of DFS this past NFL season, and the lineups that did the best is when I put every single player in the roster from the same game. Just game stack everything. Because if it's a high-scoring game, it's going to perform as one of the best GPP tournament lineups because of just the multiplier effect that you get from a high-scoring NFL game. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the Week 17 2023 schedule. Which games we're particularly going to want to target. So specifically, this is a super, super juicy game right here. Cowboys-Lions in the Dome. So one thing we have to be aware of is look at what date these games are slated for. Basically, the peak of winter. Hold on. We got a little chat. Yo, yo, yo. What up, Help'em? Welcome back. Love to see you here in the chat. But there's some games that we specifically want to target because it's not going to be adversely impacted by weather. Cowboys is in a dome. This is going to could be in freezing temperatures. This one could be in freezing temperatures, but I still like this game. Cleveland isn't as impacted by snow as Chicago is per se. Chicago has that lake effect where all the cold weather just gets trapped right over it. But Texans, this is a dome. So these are 2 games which we like to look at. Buccaneers, that's in Florida. We really like that game. Ravens, I'd say it's negligible. Ravens. Bills, that's going to be freezing temperatures. That's an interesting game to target. I don't want to target that game, but I love the Bills. So like if those players fall to me, then they fall. Eagles, Cardinals. Oh, divisional matchup too. That one's going to be fun. Eagles, Cardinals. Eagles should blow out the Cardinals in this game. And like Philly, like could be snow. You never know. Colts in a dome. Jaguars in Florida. Giants, same thing as Eagles. Commanders, negligible like the Ravens. Seahawks, it's okay. Broncos in Denver, could be a snow game. Vikings in a dome. Chiefs, you never know. So the games that we want to like particularly be targeting are the dome games, the Vikings game or the Florida games, the Jaguars game, the Buccaneers game, the Texans game, or the Cowboys-Lions game. I think those teams as primary targets for the types of game stacks that you build out could be very, very beneficial. This Lions-Cowboys game in particular, especially this being a primetime game. It's a Saturday night shootout. But I have built some best week 15 to 17 teams to target. I want to target some of the best offenses in the NFL, as well as, hold on, let's see how many teams left. We're waiting on one person. But the teams I do like to target, Jaguars, I have them as a +3 with the offensive ranking of 9. All Florida games to close out the season. Chargers, I love 2 dome games and then potential snow, but I just love the Chargers because I have them ranked as my #1 offense for the NFL for fantasy this season. Okay, looks like this is about to go live. We're in the 107. I like that. Lions, love the Lions because have them as the top 6 offense in the NFL this year, and they play only dome games. So that's beautiful. I really like the Saints as well because even though I have them ranked as the 22nd best offense, they are extremely cheap for the types of stacks that you can build with them. And they play 2 dome games and a Florida game in the playoffs. Rams, I kind of like. They got 2 dome games, and the Giants maybe snow. You never know. Niners, I also like. They have a dome game, a Cali game, and then Washington, maybe snow. You never know. Bills is a +1. Jets, I have them as a +1 as well. So not 2 teams I'm particularly keen on. But if it falls to me, like we'll be targeting those particular game stacks as well. So here we are in the draft room. Don't recognize any of these names. So let's hope for a good draft, guys. Cheers to y'all. Cheers to Jamaica. Let's fucking get it. Okay, but let me see. Sorry, guys. Looking into my boy Pharaoh Analytics. He's got some MLB plays for us today. So if you guys like sports betting, go ahead and follow Pharaoh Analytics on Twitter. JJ does not go 1, so a little bit unconventional there. But straight off the bat, we can kind of look at the teams that we're going to be targeting. Obviously, we said we love the Chargers, but I don't know if we want to go Eckler at 7. If Diggs falls to us, we're definitely taking Diggs. That would be super, super juicy if Christian McCaffrey had fallen to us at 107. But here we are with Diggs at 107. Big fan of Diggs. The model loves Stephon Diggs. I need to update my Best Ball Mania rankings because the ADPs have changed. But Diggs is our second target behind Cooper Kupp. And I know we said, hold on, let me pull up the schedule again. I know we said we don't love that Buffalo game because it could be snowing in Buffalo for that week. But I love Josh Allen this year. I love the Bills this year. I love getting Stephon Diggs here at 107. I think he's a great pick. I think he's an absolute stud. And he has the potential. He's wide receiver 1 overall potential. So we haven't seen the Bills add any wide receivers. I don't think they're going to add any more wide receivers. So it's going to be Stephon Diggs' wide receiver room. Once again, it's going to be Josh Allen's primary target. And the report is right now that D-Hop is going to Cleveland. I'm not saying that as like a confirmation, but that's what I'm hearing. That's the rumor that he's going to Cleveland. The betting odds, kind of how I'm kind of gleaning that out, is the betting odds for DeAndre Hopkins to Cleveland has moved to -150. So I kind of like taking that bet. But here we are, Indianapolis, New York Giants. Who does Indianapolis? Indianapolis is a dome game. So JT would be nice, but JT gets taken. If Saquon falls to us, I would like Saquon as well. A dig Saquon team would look pretty juicy. I'd be surprised if this guy goes RB, but you never know. He does go RB, but he passes on Saquon Barkley. What's Saquon's matchups? New Orleans, Philly, LA Rams. I like that, especially for that Week 17 game against the Rams. I think Saquon Barkley is just going to run all over the Rams defense. I know Aaron Donald's there, but The rest of that Rams team is pretty dry behind Aaron Donald. So we got 2 week 13 buys to start, but we'll build out the team other than that. What do you think about stacking teams that from multiple games that you feel as though will all be high scoring versus stacking teams from the same game? I mean, I like being able to stack as many teams from multiple games as that you think is going to be high scoring, but I think like in the later rounds, like you don't want to be straying to other games as much, and you want to kind of be sticking to the core build and stacking players on those teams. So I guess I can kind of do it as we go through this draft. I'll try to build it out as much as possible by focusing on right now Giants, Rams, or Buffalo, New England. I know we still want to build in one of these super high scoring games. Maybe that'll be like a Jacksonville versus Carolina, since that's going to be good weather. We could look at Lions, Cowboys, look at like a Jahmyr Gibbs later on. Titans, Texans, I know all those players are really cheap. We could focus on that game as well. In the Houston Dome, I expect the Texans to be a lot better this year. And I like the Texans offense. I like CJ Stroud this year. So maybe he's a target as well. We'll see. We're going to kind of just like we always say, we're going to let the room fall to us. And we're going to take the value as it falls. So we're going to hope for Josh Allen at our pick, but I'm not expecting for Josh Allen to fall to us. That would be super nice if he does. But if he doesn't, kind of looking at the games that we have available to us, Saints, Bucks, Dolphins, Ravens. Dolphins, Ravens is another one that I really, really like. If T falls to us, that would be super nice. I don't love taking DK Metcalf here. Because we did say taking that Tennessee-Houston game, we could even look at like a Derrick Henry. So we can keep stacking that Tennessee-Houston game as much as possible. Since Houston's run defense is going to be atrocious again this year, I like taking Tennessee there. Breece Hall, I like Breece Hall as a riser. So to have our backfield as Breece Hall and Saquon Barkley would be pretty juicy. We'll see who falls to us, though. I think Josh Allen is going to fall to us, guys, because this guy already has a quarterback. Actually, I think I recognize MRA. I've seen him take dual elite quarterback before. So hopefully he doesn't do it here, and he doesn't. Guys, this is my first Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs team. I haven't been taking any Josh Allen in the second round because I was predicting this exact thing happening, that Josh Allen would fall to the third round and you can stack him with Stephon Diggs. And look at what we do. Holy shit, guys. This team is a beast already. So we're going to focus on that Buffalo New England game as much as possible. We're going to focus on Giants Rams, probably more so on the Giants side because I already have a bunch of Rams teams as well. Maybe we could focus on Matthew Stafford. Actually, I think we're all week 13 bye right now. So we're going to want to pivot off of that. But as this continues to fall, Allen fell to me at the 3-5 yesterday. That's beautiful. I mean, this is exactly what this is why you guys are watching this show, because we're giving you insights. We're predicting the future here, where we thought the Josh Allen would slide to the third round. And here he is. We're getting him at 3-7, stacking with Stephon Diggs. It's beautiful, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. So with our next pick, I think we're going to want to go Jahmyr. But we'll see. I guess Amari Cooper is sliding because, okay, well, he gets taken right there. I guess he gets the Cleveland, New York Jets stacks. Yeah, he even got Garrett Wilson. You got to get D-Hop on that team, though. He goes Jahmyr. So I like the way that this dude is building. He's building it around Detroit, Cowboys, and New York Jets, Cleveland. That's the right way to build. There's no Rams guys this high, but that's kind of the beautiful thing about the Giants-Rams game. They're all so cheap. Other than Saquon and Cooper Kupp, everybody is extremely cheap in that stack. But we'll see who falls to us. We can kind of build out against one of these games. Who's our week round 4 target? Burrow, Fields, Najee, Judy, Terry, DJ Moore, Drake London. We'll see. 4-6. I mean, at pick 42, do I want to go two RB already? It feels early to go 2 running back. Maybe we'll go Drake London here. We don't have enough Drake London. And Drake London's a target. We love ETN, but since we have Saquon already, I don't think ETN is the pick here. So I'm going to go Drake London with this team. Just because Drake London is an absolute dog. We have a lot of stacking potential with this game. I know that like this is going a little bit against the grain from what I was saying with like taking guys, because I know this Falcons-Bears game isn't going to be one that we particularly want to target. But I like Drake London as a player. I think he's going to be an absolute stud this year. The model loves Drake London. So this is kind of the interesting thing. We have to balance a bunch of different things at the same time. We got to balance the model. We got to balance the Week 17 correlation. And we have to balance just drafting good players. So we have to balance our portfolio as well, our exposures. So I think if it falls back to us, we will target that Atlanta-Chicago game. We'll go against the grain a little bit, and we'll stack DJ Moore with Drake London if it falls to us that way. If it doesn't fall to us that way, we'll have to pivot, and we could look at grabbing, I don't know. Who's our round 5 targets in the model? This is kind of the tiebreaker. We could go Mixon. Kirk. We could go Christian Kirk to target that Jacksonville game. That would be kind of nice. Where's Christian Kirk? Oh, did Christian Kirk get taken? DJ Moore gets taken. Oh, Christian Kirk got taken 4-2. Wow. That's the highest I've seen Christian Kirk get taken. But maybe Christian Kirk's ADP is rising. So we'll have to adjust the model ranks. I didn't do that earlier today, but that's okay. We can kind of go off the fly, go off the cuff. But we're going to prioritize taking as many of those New England players later on, just for that Buffalo New England potential shootout. I don't expect it to be a shootout, but it could be, and that is the kind of spike weeky sort of thing that we're looking for with this sort of build. But we got Drake London. Helpum says not rising. That was a crazy reach. Well, to each their own, I guess, right? Right, Helpum, to each their own. That's the motto here. But okay. Let's see. If Mike Williams falls to pick 55, I think we have to hit the draft button on him. It would be wild not to. If Mike Williams does not fall to us, I think we'll go Joe Mixon, but that kind of goes against what I was saying. Maybe we'll go Chris Godwin and start focusing on the Tampa Bay New Orleans game. Mike Williams does get taken. I know the model loves Brandon Ayuk here in the 6th round. So maybe we could go like a Godwin here and then a Mike Evans. We'll see, though. I know Pittman is also a target for the 5th round, so maybe we go Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman does get taken. But let's see. We'll see how this continues to fall. Because I think I want to keep stacking the wide receivers. I do love the running backs in this range. But since we already have Saquon Barkley, I think we want to keep focusing on the wide receivers because the wide receivers are all going to get bought up at these prices. We'll get Godwin here and then hope for Brandon Ayuk to fall back to us. I know that there's like the Baker Mayfield thing, like, oh, Baker is going to ruin both Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. And that might be true, but there's kind of value in going against the grain a little bit. And this is the Buccaneers Saints game is a game that I want to target. And it's okay not really knowing who the quarterback is going to be in that particular game. Because I think Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are just elite receivers. They're going to find ways to get open. They're going to be phenomenal this year. So if I can build my wide receiver room as Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Stephon Diggs, Drake London, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans, or with like Kyle Pitts, I'd be extremely, extremely happy with that. I know taking Drake London and Kyle Pitts feels really, really gross because they are both going to be pass options in a primarily run-first offense. So they might not have a ton of they might not have huge weeks because they're going to be a little bit limited in their offensive scheme. But I think that's okay because I think those two guys are elite pass catchers and the passing game is going to funnel into Drake London and Kyle Pitts. There's not going to be a whole lot of variance beyond those two because who else is going to catch passes there other than Bijan Robinson? I don't see a whole lot of targets going around to like Matt Collins. Maybe Matt Collins gets a little bit, maybe like 50 to 60 targets, but I can still see 120 plus targets for both Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and be able to get them in the 5th, 6th round. Or I guess I took Drake London in the 4th. Be able to get them that late feels like stealing. So I like Atlanta as a bet to take the extra step. And then we could stack like Chicago players later on. Maybe both these offenses are great going into week 17, and they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. So we'll see. That's the hope, at least, guys. That's the hope. Who does Atlanta play? So I know Atlanta plays in a dome all year. That's why I do like taking them. They play the Colts the week before, and they play the Panthers. So I like the Atlanta boys to help us get there. And I just like betting on that Atlanta offense. So we'll prioritize Kyle Pitts, I think. Kyle Pitts or Mike Evans, whoever falls to us. I know we love Brandon Ayuk. We love Brandon Ayuk, but we're already extremely exposed to him. Maybe we could take Brandon Ayuk because I have plans for our 10th round pick, and I think everybody who's been following along already knows exactly who that is. So we'll see. Kyle Pitts gets taken. We'll go either Brandon Ayuk or Mike Evans. Maybe for this specific build, we go Mike Evans because Mike Evans is a target as well. It's Mike Evans and Ayuk at that pick. Brandon Ayuk's just such a dog. I freaking love Brandon Ayuk. He's such a beast. I don't have much Mike Evans, though, so maybe in this specific draft, we'll go Mike Evans. Yeah, Deontay Johnson. I love Deontay Johnson, but taking him over Brandon Ayuk is not how it's supposed to go. But we get Godwin, we get Mike Evans. We got a beautiful receiver room building out. We got Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Stephon Diggs, Drake London, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Hey, I expect that Tampa Bay offense to continue to pass the ball a ton. They play the Jags in week 16. I love that in Florida. They play the Packers in week 15. That's not the greatest game, but like maybe, I don't know. And then week 17, the Bucs play the Saints. Who did the Bills play in week 15? The Bills play the Cowboys. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so we have some shootout potential with our team. I like the team that we're building so far. We're building around Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley as our anchors at quarterback and running back. And our wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Drake London, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Just dogs all around. Considering thinking outside the box, making a Baker Mayfield stack, yeah, that's definitely possible with this team, especially since Baker Mayfield goes in the 18th round. And our model likes Baker Mayfield in the 18th round. Baker, 18th round target. So we could look at Baker in the last round as our second quarterback. But I think we're going to want to go running back here in the 7th round. Since we have Saquon, we could look at Cam Akers. We love DeAndre Swift, so we could go Swift here. Dallas Goedert's the league winner, so we could look at Dallas Goedert as well. Gabe Davis is another interesting one as well. Alexander Madison, I think the report is he's about to get snapped up. Dalvin Cook goes. The Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, they're both potential risers. So I like taking either one of those guys. And that Minnesota Green Bay game, week 17, is kind of a good game to target. I think based off the potential, off the build right now, I think we're going to look at Cam Akers to stack him with Saquon Barkley. So we'll see. Okay, Gabe Davis gets taken. I think Gabe Davis was the backup against Cam Akers. I know Cam Akers is a risky bet because our model doesn't particularly love Cam Akers. And our model loves DeAndre Swift. So Dallas Goedert goes. Maybe we have no Philly right here. I have a lot of Swift already, so I think we're going to go to Cam Akers with this pick. Just to pivot off of the DeAndre Swift pick that we've been doing a bunch of already. We're going to keep hammering DeAndre Swift all offseason long. But with this particular build, to target that Giants-Rams Week 17 matchup, I think is the way to go with this sort of build. So we're going against the model a little bit. But the Rams play the Giants. The Rams play the Commanders in Week 15 in the Dome. The offense is going to flow through Cam Akers. They play the Saints in Week 16 in the Dome, and they play against the Giants in Week 17 in the Meadowlands. So maybe that game is going to be a little bit cold, and that's when you run the ball a lot. So I like taking Cam Akers there. We'll see who continues to fall to us. Maybe we even consider like a Rashad White at our next pick. to keep stacking the Tampa Bay boys. Who else could we look at? Tampa Bay. New Orleans is coming up. We could look at Michael Thomas as a bet against that New Orleans-Tampa Bay game. He is the top wide receiver on the board. We could look at James Cook a little bit later on. To stack him with Diggs, Josh Allen, and company. I think I'll probably want to go Damian Harris, but it could be James Cook. You never know. We'll see who falls to us, though. Let's see who else. I like JMO a lot, but I don't think JMO fits this squad particularly. Kamara fits this build. Juju fits this build. Who else? Atlanta. So we're looking at Chicago, Giants, Rams. I guess we could look at another game to stack out. This is an interesting spot to be in. I know the model loves Montgomery and Connor. I've been drafting a decent amount of them already. I need to be taking more Evan Engram in Best Ball Mania. I don't have any Evan Engram in Best Ball Mania yet. Rashad White goes, so he kind of gets crossed off the list there. Okay, so I think Michael Thomas is the pick here. In the 8th round, Michael Thomas is a target. I know Connor is the top target, but Michael Thomas fits this build a little bit better. And I'm going to continue drafting Connor all season long. He said, Helpum says, think Rashad White is at good value too. Maybe we even take Sean Tucker, 18th round. We'll see. We'll see. But I think we're going to go Michael Thomas here to get our 5th wide receiver through 8. And continue stacking that New Orleans-Tampa Bay Week 17 matchup. And then maybe on the bring back, we could look at Kamara to keep stacking that team out. I have a decent amount of Kamara, but I think I want more Kamara because Kamara is still elite. I know that they brought in Kendra Miller. I know they signed Jamal Williams. Kamara might get suspended the first 6 weeks. But when Kamara returns, he's going to play. He's getting paid a fuck ton of money. So they're gonna hand the rock. They're going to pass the rock to Alvin Kamara. There goes Alvin Kamara. He goes off the board. So James Conner will be our top pick. And then we could target like a Kendra Miller, like we just said later on, to keep stacking out that New Orleans-Tampa Bay game. We'll see, though. Montgomery gets taken. So I think James Conner's the top pick. I actually expect James Conner to get taken. But to get him as our – all right, he gets taken right there. Interesting spot here now. Could go James Cook. Juju is also a target here. Helton says even if he's suspended, he'll still come back eventually. Yeah. I don't think he'll get suspended the whole season. That'd be pretty wild. But let's go back to the drawing board, see who we can grab. This is looking more and more like a late tight end team. But we'll see who we're able to grab. I think we're going to want to go Juju here at 103. I think that makes the most sense for our build. We could even look at Evan Engram since he's fallen so far past ADP, and he does play Tampa Bay in Week 16. So that would be a little bit interesting. We do need a tight end, but I think we're going to wait on tight end. Could even look like a Dawson Knox much later on. We'll see. We'll see, though. I'm liking this team so far. I'm really liking our build. J-Mo gets taken. I think Juju's the pick here. He's a wide receiver 1 that gets taken very, very late, and he kind of slots right into the Jacoby Myers role. So I like taking Juju here. I like game stacking that New England Buffalo game even more. Juju's used to playing against Buffalo. He's used to playing in that cold weather. I used to play up in Pittsburgh, so I like Juju Smith-Schuster here. Help him Bass. Is Kincaid still on the board? He is still on the board. He's here at pick 120, so he would be right in range for our next pick. But I think I'm going to wait on that a little bit because there's a certain someone that everybody that's watched the show knows who I have to get. He's the perfect guy to build around taking a bunch of early elite wide receivers. So I think everybody knows exactly who I'm talking about. We'll see if he falls to us. And he's going to be a little bit naked, but that's okay. He does play the Rams in Week 15, so there's a little bit correlation there. But he's our number 1 value on the board right now. He's the guy that I love to take in every single one of these best ball manias. He's the perfect running back to kind of build up your running back room. So I think everybody names his name rhymes with ribbon, right? Shh. Don't spoil it. Help him. You've been the most loyal engager in this entire show. Really appreciate you. Help him. But you can't be giving away our secrets already. In case anybody in the draft room is watching, you're making me nervous. Tank the Shy Guy says, yo, what up, Tank? How you doing? No. Oh, why are you taking Antonio Gibson from me? No. Oh, help him. You did it to me. How you gonna do that to me? That's okay. We can bounce back from these sorts of things. That's what we do. Help them. We bounce back. We don't let this shit impact us. So let's see if there's any New England boys, any Tampa Bay, New Orleans boys. I don't see any of them. Who's our round 10 target? Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Gibson, Lazard, Jacoby, Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth is the top guy on the board. We don't have a lot of correlation with him, but we could build around Pat Freiermuth in the tight end position. I know Dalton Kincaid's there as well, but I like Pat Freiermuth a lot more than Dalton Kincaid this year. Let's go Freiermuth. Everyone knows you want Gibby. Not everyone in this draft room. You all know that I want Gibby. Not everybody in here, though. So that's okay, though. We're going to keep drafting Antonio Gibson all season. We're going to keep drafting Pat Freiermuth. So now we kind of open ourselves up to that Pittsburgh-Seattle game. But maybe we'll just go a little bit of a skinny stack, maybe like a Pat Freiermuth and a Jalen Warren. That could be really interesting. But we still need our third running back. We'll see who we take. I think I know exactly who I want to take. 11th round, Zay Schultz, Mooney, Herbert. Since we have Drake London, we could go Khalil Herbert at our next pick. Just taking a bet on that Chicago backfield since I do expect them to run the ball a ton. I'm liking the way we're building our team, though. This is looking promising. Let's see. I'm checking back in on my boy Pharaoh Analytics since he's posting some. He's about to post some MLB prop bets for today. Let me at him. Who are the locks for today? You're getting a little bit of flavor of everything, guys, in the show. Hopefully, Khalil Herbert falls to us. If not, maybe we'll just go Dalton Kincaid in the 11th round. Just get our two tight ends here and set and forget. But I kind of like Dawson Knox later on. I think I'm going to wait a little bit. Let me actually take a look at something because I know somebody just put out a tweet not too long ago about the most advantageous builds in. So these are the most profitable builds for Best Ball Mania over the years. Kind of what we're looking at is 2673, 2682, 2583. Those are going to be the builds we're going to target for this specific build. So we could go 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends, but we want either 5 or 6 running backs, 7 or 8 wide receivers. That's kind of how we've been building all of our teams all offseason. So it's good to know that we're doing it right. Jacoby Myers goes. Okay. I love the receivers we have already. This might be a 7 wide receiver build because we have just so many studs on the team. Khalil Herbert got taken. Damn it. We're going to pick 127. Our next pick is 138. Do we want Jamal Williams or Kendra Miller? I think we're going to want to go running back with this pick. I know Kincaid's the top guy on the board, but Jamal Williams or Kendra Miller, I think, is the pick here, just to continue stacking that New Orleans Tampa Bay game. I already have a ton of Jamal Williams or Kendra Miller. Let's go Jamal Williams with this build. And maybe Kendra Miller falls back to us. I'm willing to take both of those guys. This will be kind of how we're building out the room. We're taking Jamal Williams right at ADP. Jamal Williams last year had, 18 touchdowns? That's absurd. Jamal Williams, 18 touchdowns. Even if we cut that in half, he still scores 9. The Saints obviously prioritized picking up this guy, and Jamal Williams just looks sick in training camp. I don't know if you guys follow the training camp hype, but let me show you what Jamal Williams' visor freaking looks like. This guy looks like an absolute beast out there. Kincaid gets taken. That's unfortunate. Look at this man's visor. My boy is a weeb for life, and he embraces it. I freaking love that. He has the Naruto visor. That's just beast mode. You know you're gonna go out there and kill if you're wearing a Naruto visor. That's hilarious. Man is a true TD vulture. He really is. I'm excited for Jamal Williams this year. If Kendra Miller falls to us, we can just double tap that New Orleans room because we get 2 guys. One of them is going to be starting the year for the New Orleans, probably the first 6 games because we expect Alvin Kamara to get suspended for the first 6 weeks. And we missed out on Dalton Kincaid, but that's okay because we'll be drafting Dawson Knox with this team to build that out. Because one of those guys is going to be taking the touchdowns in that offense. I do like Dalton Kincaid as a bet to kind of take on that big slot sort of role. But we've already been drafting a little bit of Dalton Kincaid at these sorts of prices. So I like being able to get Kendra Miller or a Roshan Johnson or a Jalen Warren at this next pick. We'll start with Kendra and then hope one of those guys falls to pick 151. We'll see, though. Because we have our 6 wide receivers. They're all beasts. We're going to look at a Tyquan Thornton later on. We're going to look at we could look at a Chase Claypool. We'll see, though. I'm liking how all of these guys are getting built into our lineup. Kendra Miller, Jamal Williams. Both of those guys, one of them is going to be good. So I like being able to get 2 guys in the same running back room, especially when they're this cheap. We get them at the 11th, 12th round. So Roshan gets taken. We're going to pray Jalen Warren falls to us. All right, this is not a good sign for Jalen Warren falling to us. But that's okay. What other ways could we build out the Pittsburgh-Seattle stack? I know Sharp already went. Maybe it's going to be a solo Pat Freiermuth, which I'm okay with because I like Pat Freiermuth to torch the Seattle secondary in that week. If Cole Kmet keeps sliding, we could look. Oops. Oh, Derek Carr. No. I think I'd rather go. Oh, I guess we could go Derek Carr. Derek Carr's an interesting one. Does he have the same buy as Josh Allen? He does not. He's one we can look at. We could look at a Jalen Hyatt to stack with Saquon Barkley. Could look at a Higbee. We could look. We don't have any DPJ built in. Could look at a Van Jefferson and Matthew Stafford. We could look at a Jawan Johnson. Helton says take Noah Fan in the later rounds. I'm going to look at that. What other builds do we have here? We have a Donta Foreman built in. I don't have any Rashid Shaheed. I don't really like Rashid Shaheed, but if he fits this build, I guess. So if he's the top guy on the board, he's the top guy on the board. I like Wandale. Could look at a Wandale. Maybe if Kenny Pickett is the guy that falls to us, we could take a Kenny Pickett. For sure, Dawson Knox. For sure, Dawson Knox. What other guys? We definitely want Tyquan Thornton. So these are the kinds of guys that we're going to build into our roster just because of how correlated we want to make our team as much as possible. New Orleans, Tampa Bay, we have a bunch of that. Chase Claypool goes in the 13th round. That's the highest I've seen Chase Claypool get taken. That's a shocker. But, hey, to each their own. Like I always say, to each their own. Let's see who else. I think that's about it for guys we want to be targeting. We could look at a Darius Slayton. Where is – I didn't see – oh, my boy Isaiah Hodgins. He's a guy we want to target. Noah Fant much later on. All right, so all these guys fit into our team in some way. I don't want to take any Allen Robinson. Baker Mayfield down here. Even Hunter Henry fits into the squad somehow. Devontae, Puka, Cordero, Mac Hollins, Kate Otten. So these are all guys that somehow in some way fit into our roster. I don't think I want to take Derek Carr at this point because we have Josh Allen, so we don't necessarily need Derek Carr, and there's other guys in this range who I'd rather be drafting. Okay. Algier is the top running back on the board. Maybe we just take Algier. Or we could wait on Donta. We already have a bunch of Algier also. We have Drake London. Derek Carr, Jalen Hyatt. Screw it. The model likes Algier. Algier fits this team. Be humble, homie says, are you going to do another draft? I'll join you if you do. Maybe. We'll see. We drafted Algier to get our 5th running back. We're definitely going to want one more. But we'll see who that's going to be. It could be Derek Carr. It could be Matthew Stafford. It could be Kenny Pickett. It could be Baker Mayfield. But Tyler Algier was the last of kind of the guys who I expect to get a solid workload this year. I think Tyler Algier is going to he's the 2 in that offense. He was one of the best running backs in the league last year. To get him at 13-7 feels pretty good in the same range as a bunch of these other guys. And he does correlate with Drake London. So we don't have any Chicago bringbacks, but that's okay. I do like Atlanta in that game. Actually, I like Chicago in that game too, but we'll see how this room falls to us. I do want to take a little bit more of this Giants offense because I think the Giants have a lot of potential this year. So we'll see. I like that the Giants made the playoffs and they were also still a 3rd in their division. So they're playing against the likes of who did the Giants? Oh, Tyquan Thornton went this early. Oh, Tyquan Thornton is rising up the draft boards. Where is Tyquan Thornton? Wow, that's a 2-round reach on Tyquan Thornton. I guess the hype is building around him. I like Tyquan Thornton. I don't like him that much. Maybe if Derek Carr falls to this pick, like we just hit the draft button on Derek Carr to stack him with Michael Thomas. Because I do like all right, Derek Carr gets taken. Higbee's fallen a bunch. The model likes Higbee. I like Higbee. We'll take Higbee with this pick. I like Stafford to bounce back. Higbee is one of our targets for the 13th round, and we got him in the 14th. We got him in the late 14th, or I guess mid 14th. So that works for me. I like taking Higbee there. And we'll probably want to get one more tight end just because we waited until the 10th round to take Freiermuth. But the roster is looking pretty good so far. If Stafford falls to us, we'll take Stafford. But I'm not expecting him to fall to us. But like I said, guys, we're letting the room fall to us. And then if Stafford falls to us, we could continue to stack that Rams-Giants game. Look at like a Wandale, Hodgins. So we have the Juju bring back against Buffalo. So that's fine. I guess that's the only bring back that we need in that game. But we're going to want one more running back. If Donta Foreman, we'll take one of Matthew Stafford to Donta Foreman at that pick if it falls to us that way. We'll take Wandale if neither of them are there. Juwan Johnson goes, okay. I like Gerald Everett here too, but he doesn't fit this team. Dawson Knox is going to be our 3rd tight end target to stack him with Josh Allen. And then our 3rd quarterback is going to be, or our 2nd quarterback is either going to be Stafford. Oh, who went just now? Kenny Pickett went. Kenny Pickett went 8 picks over ADP. He goes over Matthew Stafford. That seems a little crazy to me. But hey, like I always say, to each their own. Let the room fall as it may. But let's stay focused. Let's stay laser sharp here. I'm loving the team we're building out. It's looking like a monster. We're going to take – this is probably looking like a 2-6-7-3. Yeah, 2-6-7-3 sort of build. Donta Foreman gets taken. We'll maybe look at a Latavius, maybe a James Robinson. Wandale gets taken too. Dawson Knox is our 16th round pick, right? No, Knox is a 15th round target. So we'll get either Stafford or Knox here. Hoping for Stafford, but if it's Knox, that's okay too. And then our next pick, who fits into the lineup the best? What are the running backs that are left for us? I guess there's not a lot of running backs that are left for us that fit our particular build. I guess James Robinson kind of does fit in there, but I don't expect James Robinson to get a ton of work this year. Maybe he gets a little bit, though. to get Matthew. Sorry about that, guys. Let's let this load back up. Come on, guys. We're experiencing technical difficulties right now. That's okay though. We're back in the room. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all joining me on the stream. I don't know if you guys can see me. Comment in the chat if you guys can see me. If not, I think you guys should be able to see the draft board now. Let me know if you guys can see me or hear me. You guys can see me. Okay. It's weird because I can't see myself on here, but that's all right. As long as you guys can see me, that's good. But we're going to we got Matthew Stafford. Our team is looking like an absolute force. So Matthew Stafford plays against New Orleans too. So okay, they said that you got. You guys can see me now? We good? I can see myself, so hopefully you guys can see me. Still can't see me? Okay. Well, hopefully we'll figure this out. But hopefully you guys can see me at this point because I can see myself on the stream. So, but looking at, yep, all good. Sweet. Let's go, guys. Our roster is looking beautiful. I'm loving the team that we're building out. So far, we have Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford at quarterback, Saquon, Cam Akers, Jamal Williams, Kendre Miller, Tyler Algier at running back. We have Stephon Diggs, Drake London, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, Juju Smith-Schuster at wide receiver, Pat Frymuth, Tyler Higbee at tight end. Our team is looking absolutely beautiful. Loving the roster so far. And we have some guys that we can build in at the back end here. I like Dawson Knox here in the 16th round if he falls to us. If not, we could look at Noah Fant in the last round as a bring back against Pat Frymuth. We'll see how the room continues to fall, though. Maybe for my sixth running back, it could be like a Sean Tucker because I loved Sean Tucker in the pre-draft process. He ended up falling out of the draft because of apparently a heart condition. So I hope everything's okay with him. But it looks like he's at OTAs. I'm happy that he's at OTAs because I'm a big Sean Tucker fan. And I have a lot of correlation with the Tampa Bay boys. So the Tampa Bay New Orleans stack is building out here. And maybe we get a Tampa Bay and New Orleans guy. Or I guess we already have the New Orleans backs. Maybe we get a Chicago back. I know. No, there's no more Chicago backs left. But we're about to be back on the board. And then Dawson Knox here in the 16th round would be pretty beautiful. Hopefully this guy goes like Gerald Everett. There's no reason. All right, there we go. Look at that. Look at us. Predicting that shit right off the bat. We're getting Dawson Knox. Instead of taking, what's his name? Instead of taking Dalton Kincaid, we get Dawson Knox here in the 16th round. Much, much better at cost, in my opinion, because there's so much uncertainty in that tight end room. We don't really know who it's going to be. Maybe they're both on the field. And if Dawson Knox sees any sort of semblance of his previous workloads, he's going to be a solid pick at ADP. But we have our tight end room built out. Probably one more receiver and one more running back to close out this draft. We don't need Baker. We don't need Noah Fant. We don't need Hunter Henry. We don't need Cade Otton. Let's see. Philly. We could go Shakir just for the correlation with Josh Allen. I don't love Zach Evans. Could go Slayton. Who else we got? Could go Paris Campbell. I've always been a Paris Campbell fan. James Robinson is a potential guy. We could go Pierre Strong. I saw that in the chat as well. Could go Pierre Strong as a bring back option. There's a lot of week 11 buys, though. So we would need Saquon Barkley and Cam Akers to carry us through week 11 if that is the case. What are the running backs are here? Maybe we'll go one Philly boy and just get Kenneth Gainwell. Pittsburgh, Seattle. We could go Sean Tucker, like I said. Chase Edmonds is an interesting one as well. Latavius, Matt Breida, do not want any Keyshawn Vaughn. That is for sure, for sure. But okay. Who's the top guy on the board that's fallen? I guess we could go Lenny. Khalil Shakir is the top guy. Could go Puka as well. We're on the board. I don't have any Giants receivers. Screw it. Let's go Paris Campbell with our round 17 pick. I know the model likes Darius Slayton, but they paid Paris Campbell. They paid Paris Campbell a little bit. How much money did they pay Paris Campbell? But I've always been a Paris Campbell fan. I think I've drafted him in every single Best Ball Mania. And the report right now is Paris Campbell is going to get the first shot at the slot. And Paris Campbell in the slot could be pretty dirty for Daniel Jones, especially because Daniel Jones really likes his slot receivers. So Paris Campbell's the guy, then Paris Campbell's the guy, and that's more correlation with Saquon Barkley, Cam Akers. Hopefully Paris Campbell can tear it up. But going back to the running back well with our last pick, we don't need Devontae, we don't need Puka, don't need Shakir. This is a little bit interesting. Maybe we continue to target that New England Buffalo game because we have Juju. We could go with the stack with Pierre Strong or James Robinson. Mac Jones, Fant Ertz, Henry Palmer, Slayton, CPAT, Carter. It does like Cordero Patterson too. Cordero Patterson or Pierre Strong. I think maybe we'll bet on the Pierre Strong breakout. Let's bet on Pierre Strong. I like Pierre Strong here, guys. Someone in the chat mentioned Pierre Strong. I like Pierre Strong. I liked what he showed last year. So we're going Pierre Strong as our bring back. I know we have a bunch of Week 11 buys, but we're hoping Saquon and Cam Akers are both healthy and playing that week. The Week 11 or the bye week bros are going to kill us for that, but that's okay. We're hoping the rest of the team can carry us through. Pierre Strong, yes, sir. But that concludes our build. We got Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford at quarterback. We got Saquon Barkley, Cam Akers, Jamal Williams, Kendra Miller, Tyler Algier, Pierre Strong at running back. We got Stephon Diggs, Drake London, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, Juju Smith-Schuster, Paris Campbell at receiver, Pat Freiermuth, Tyler Higbee, Dawson Knox at tight end. But that concludes our roster. It seems like everybody wants me to do one more draft. So screw it. Just for you guys, because I appreciate you guys so much. We'll do a puppy. We'll do a puppy for all you guys. Let's hop right into a puppy. Be humble, homie. Hope you're paying attention because you can hop in this puppy room with me. It's just $5, so I'm okay with betting on doing a draft with you all. So hop on into this puppy room, guys. Let's play a little bit. Should be fun. But let me go back to the last draft that we just did, because I just wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about how important it is to have some of this Week 17 game correlation, because basically our entire roster is built out for Week 17. We have Buffalo stacked with New England. Let's go to the playoff view. Look how many stacks we have in just these 3 games. We're targeting these 3 games, and we talked pre-draft how important this New Orleans Tampa Bay game I projected out to be, and I'm liking this Giants Rams stack that we got going as well, and this Buffalo New England stack. This is a divisional game. We expect that game to be pretty good. Rams Giants. Rams defense is going to suck. Giants, we have no idea. So I like that game as well. Offense should run through Cam Akers and Cooper Kupp. New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Jamal Williams, Kendra Miller, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Michael Thomas. I like having all of those guys in that game as well. So, like I said, guys, we're trying to target some of these Week 17 correlations. Let's see what pick we have. Oh, we're right next to Be Humble Homie. Are you pay-per-view Mike? I got 9. Let's see how we both. Be Humble Homie is at number 4. Zeke and Destroy. Let's see how we build this roster out, though. I'm excited to see how you go as well, Be Humble Homie. Help him is pay-per-view Mike. What up, Help him? We're all in this draft room together. This is going to be fun. Zeke and Destroy. Who are you taking here at 104? I'm excited. I'm excited for this draft room. Looks like we got no badges in here, so we're gonna try some different things out in this draft. We'll see how we're able to build this team out, but I'm liking what we're building so far. But okay, let's go. Let's see. Zeke and Destroy goes Tyreek Hill at 104. I mean, you can't go wrong with Tyreek Hill. But let's see who falls to us at 109. There are 3 guys who I am looking at here. But let's see. I guess the room is not loving the Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is sliding down the board. I would take Kelce if he falls me at 109. That would be beautiful. Sam Lee, go ahead and take yourself some Bijan Robinson so I can take some Travis Kelce, please. Come on. He takes Kelce. Okay, so we're going to build this team a little bit differently. Looks like we could go Bijan in this draft. So we're going to go ahead and take Bijan at 109. Just because Bijan is an absolute beast. He's got a lot of potential to just be an absolute beast as well in that Atlanta offense. Hopefully that Atlanta offense completely flows through Bijan. So he will be our anchor running back. And we're just going to start hammering out the rest of the roster in the way that we like to build. So pay-per-view Mike, help him. He goes to CeeDee Lamb at the 111. So we'll see who pay-per-view Mike takes at his second pick. Devontae Adams. Love this. Love Devontae Adams going in the first round in my draft room because I do not like Devontae Adams this year. I think he's my number 1 fade in the first round. He begins to become a little bit of a value in the second round, but first round is crazy to me. So Atlanta plays Chicago. I guess I could look a little bit later at those bringbacks, but we're going to pay-per-view Mike goes Amon-Ra. I love that. Continue to stack that Detroit-Dallas game. That's beautiful. But I'm going to go with my guy, Jalen Waddle. I love Jalen Waddle this year. The Miami Baltimore game in Week 17 is looking like an absolute force of a game. I think it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful game to target. And Jalen Waddle is my wide receiver 3 in my rankings. Go ahead and look at this, guys. Jalen Waddle, wide receiver 3. That's beautiful. I see what you're doing. Yes, help him. I see exactly what you're doing. You're building out that Detroit Dallas Week 17 correlation. I love it. Don't you dare. Help him. If you do that, you're going to have to reach a good deal because I'm coming for him. I didn't get him in my last draft, so I'm itching. I really, really want him in this draft now because I wasn't able to get him last draft. So I hope you know that I will find you. Just kidding. Okay. Let's see how we're going to build out the rest of this team. I'm liking how this room is falling, though. I hope this room continues to fall this way because I'm liking our build so far. Bijan Jalen Waddle feels pretty juicy. Zeke and Destroy went with Tony Pollard, so that is very fitting for your name that you just flow straight from Zeke and Destroy to Mr. Tony Pollard. You're gonna have to come up with a new username since now you're the Pollard boy. Sounds like you're a Cowboys fan. But how is this room falling? Okay, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen go in the third. Let's see. Miami plays Baltimore. Atlanta plays Chicago. Ooh, Zeke and Destroy goes Lamar Jackson right here. Okay, so I guess we'll kind of ignore Baltimore. I I don't know who I want to take here. This is very, very interesting. Very interesting here. Okay. Huh. 33, 40. 33 and 40. Oh, man, guys. This is tough. This is really tough. I'm kind of stumped with who I should be taking here. Let me look at something real quick. Breece Hall goes. I guess Mark Andrews is the top guy on the board. I don't know if I love Mark Andrews. Chargers, Jaguars. Jaguars are +3. Saints +3. Lions +3. Shoot. Cleveland, New York Jets. Damn it. I don't love this, but I guess we'll go ahead and take Mark Andrews here. I don't love it. Just because I like being able to take the tight ends a little bit later. But Mark Andrews should be the number one guy in that offense. Pay-per-view Mike is going to continue to build out that Detroit-Dallas correlation. So love that for him. I guess we're going to Mark Andrews here. He has the potential to be a huge bounce back. He's our tight end 2 in our model. I don't like him at cost, though, because I could look at Kyle Pitts. Maybe this will be his bully tight end team, and I'll go Kyle Pitts a little bit later on. But I think I know who I want to go at pick 40. And then hopefully my other guy falls to me at in the 5th. But you never know. Pay-per-view Mike, who you going here? Detroit or Dallas? Zero XD, are you in this draft as well? Pay-per-view Mike, who are you going here? Jerry Jeudy, I like that. You know I love me some Jerry Jeudy this year. I definitely need more wide receivers, but this is a puppy, so we're just going to try different things out. Snipe me on Justin Fields. Damn. Okay. I see you, whoever you were. We're going to go receiver then. We'll go Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel in the 4th. Fell a little bit, so I like the value here on Deebo Samuel. And he's going to have some correlation with the guys that we're going to be taking later on. So we have a little Miami-Baltimore correlation. We have Atlanta. Maybe the Atlanta boys fall to us. I'm not going to favorite anybody in this draft because I know all you guys are watching at home. So we're going to be a little bit careful. We're going to be a little careful with our picks here. But okay, let me go ahead and see if my boy Fair Analytics has posted the baseball locks for the day. He said he's dropping soon, so okay, it's coming out soon. But okay, Drake London gets taken from us. That's a little upsetting. Hopefully, our second guys, our next 2 guys, don't get taken from us. But we have a few guys in mind. We'll see who falls to us, but I'm liking the roster so far. I'm liking what we're building. Okay, Terry gets taken from us too. Zeke and Destroy, what are you doing? Why are you taking my guy from me? You guys are all just gonna snipe me in this draft, aren't you? I'm straight up not having a good time. If you guys all keep sniping this from me, I'm straight up not having a good time. You guys are probably having a good time. You guys are probably at your computers or at your phones just laughing because you're taking all my guys, making me upset. That's cruel, man. That's cruel. How are you guys going to do this to me? But, all right. That's okay. Hey, our brand, we bounce back. We build our teams the right way. I don't care what y'all do. Just don't take my next guy, please. Oh man. I hope they fall to me. This is looking like a solid team so far, though. I'm liking the roster that we're building. We'll see who's able to fall to us in our next pick. But I have my eye on 3 different guys Hopefully y'all don't snipe me on these guys. God damn it. Why is DJ? Why do you have to take DJ Moore from me too? If I do take your guy, I apologize in advance. I don't want your apologies. Help him. I want my guy. I want my players. Man, how's it gonna fall like this to me? This is bullshit. Come on. You're gonna take Dobbins from me too? Dobbins was my backup pick. Take DJ Moore, my first pick. Dobbins, my backup pick. Be humble, homie. Did you plan this all along? You wanted me to hop in this room so you could steal all my players? Man, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I love y'all. Appreciate all you guys for supporting the stream. It's always a lot of fun getting to draft with you guys in the room. So appreciate each and every one of you. But I would love it a lot more if I could get my picks. If I could get my guys, that would be pretty beautiful. But I think I know the two guys I'm going to want to take at my next two picks. So we'll see. We'll see how this falls. Love you too, man. This could be a winner, guys. If this room continues to fall the way that we need it to. I'm liking it. Kittle, that's fine. You think you're sniping me on Kittle? I don't care about George Kittle. There's another guy I'm looking at. I already got Mark Andrews. I don't need George Kittle. Looking at a few guys here. Sam Lee. We share the same last name, but all right, Joe Burrow, that's fine. We're taking our board Brandon Ayuk. Get both of the pass catchers in the San Francisco receiving room. Love both those guys. Think they're both beasts. Herbert, fine. Take Herbert. Pay-per-view Mike. You know I love Jackson Smith and Jigba, so great pick there. Darren Waller, fine. I don't need Darren Waller. Come on. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. I know exactly who I want to take in my next pick. Pay-per-view Mike. Let me look at your team real quick. Pay-per-view Mike. Jameer, CD, Amon-Ra, Jerry Jeudy, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Deontay Johnson, love that pick. You're doing it right. But I'm gonna go a little bully tight end. Go Mark Andrews and Kyle Pitts. This is, like I said, guys, the puppy is to kind of play around with different builds, see how they build out. And we're going bully tight end in this draft. I haven't done a single bully tight end draft all off season or all best ball season. So bully tight end, Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is our tight end 3 this year, right behind Mark Andrews. So to be able to get tight end 2, tight end 3 on the same team, we're hoping for Kyle Pitts to fill our flex spot a decent amount. So we have the correlation with Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts. We're loving this squad. Let's freaking go, guys. Well, help them. You had the opportunity to take Kyle Pitts instead of Deontay Johnson. So, and Mr. Be Humble Homie, I got to take Kyle Pitts. I already have my boy Bijan Robinson, so got to take some Kyle Pitts right here. But okay. Ooh. How you get Cup, Garrett, and Devontae plus London Pitts? That's crazy. Yeah, my boy Perlman, he was on the stream with us yesterday. He somehow built out an absolute monster. And Jason and Ken Walker. Damn. Yeah, my boy Perlman just built out a monster in DraftKings. You best believe I'm getting my favorite running back. You best believe it. I don't give a shit if I have to reach on him. This is the puppy. I don't care about reaching in this one. We're fighting now. We're fighting now. Help him. But okay, there's a few different ways we could build out the rest of this roster. I have some ideas. Oh, Be Humble Homie. If you'd been following along the rest of the show, you would know exactly who it is because I've been talking about him all off season. I do think Howell starts the entire year. I am a fan of Sam Howell. Actually, fun fact, Sam Howell is a quarter Korean. His mom is half Korean. I'm 100% Korean, so that's my guy. But Sam Howell after his freshman year of college, he put up an insane year in college. Jahan Dotson, you're gonna snipe us again, Zeke and Destroy. But let me go ahead and show y'all Sam Howell's college stats. He was phenomenal in college. People were talking him as the 101 after his rookie or his freshman year. As a true freshman, 259 for 422, 61% completion percentage, 3,600 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And then he just continued to put up solid stats throughout his entire career. He kind of declined year over year. But look at his rushing. His last year, 183 rushing attempts, 828 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns. He has that Konami code ability as well. But let's see who's available for us here. We're at pick 81. Screw it. We're going Zay Flowers here. We need the correlation. We'll go Zay Flowers. And in the 8th round, I think I know who I'm going to take. Quentin Johnson goes right there. Huge on Howell this year, about 40% right now. Yeah, Sam Howell is a very sneaky play. I don't have too much of him in Best Ball Mania, but I might be drafting more of him just to stack him with the builds that I'm building out. But when's our next pick after this? Okay. Got to be sneaky about this. We'll see who falls, but AR, what are you talking about? Anthony Richardson? Love me some Anthony Richardson, but Jordan Love? No. I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Love. Maybe. So, like, kind of the one trend I've been noticing about the Packers is, like, they draft a quarterback, they let him sit for 3 years, and then he starts, and then he becomes a Hall of Famer. I did not love Jordan Love when he was drafted, but to be able to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, a Hall of Fame quarterback for 3 years, he's definitely learned a lot. I don't know how that's going to play out for him throughout the rest of his career, but you never know. Maybe it works out for him. Maybe he ends up being a Hall of Famer. I don't know. But right now, just off face value, I don't like Jordan Love. There's a lot of uncertainty. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. Maybe I'll take a little bit of Jordan Love because of that. Coleman asks, are you doing another draft after this? No, I'm not, Coleman. This is the last one of the day. I already did one before this, so gonna stop after this one. But pay-per-view Mike, looks like you need a running back. Okay, there you go, James Conner. Oh, Finney! Damn it, I want Rashad Bateman on this team. That would have fit this team perfectly. Screw it. Just because I know you guys are going to do it, screw all y'all. Antonio Gibson. I'm reaching on him. Just so none of you guys can snipe me on him. We're going to go Antonio Gibson at 8-4. I'm fine with it. I wanted the correlation. He's going to be a beast this year. Y'all can't stop me from taking my Antonio Gibson on this team. So, yeah, you can go ahead and send me a team. I'll look over it. Send it to @Joshua J. Hyun on Twitter. It's underneath my tag in the video screen. So go ahead and send me a screenshot of your team. I'll go ahead and give you some feedback on it. If anybody else that's watching this right now wants to send over a team for me to review, I'll go ahead and do that happily. Go ahead and send it to @Joshua J. Hyun on Twitter. Yeah. So hey, if I know you guys made me do it, but I don't care. I love Antonio Gibson, so I will take him any which way. 2 years ago, I was drafting Antonio Gibson in the 2nd round. Last year, I was drafting Antonio Gibson in the 5th, 6th round. This year, taking him in the 11th round, that's stealing. Okay, so I have to take him in the 8th round in this draft. Fine, I'll take him in the 8th round in this draft. But I know who I want to take for the rest of this team. I did it for y'all, though. I did it for the memes. I did it for the thumbnail. Give me Antonio Gibson in the 8th round, 30 picks ahead of ADP, just to make sure I got him. Full disclosure, do not do this in your draft rooms. I'm just doing this for the stream, doing it for fun, doing it for y'all. Taking Antonio Gibson, 30 picks ahead of ADP. Please, please, please do not do that in your draft rooms. That is the most minus EV play that you can make. Just doing it for the bit. Doing it for the thumbnail. Doing it for Antonio Gibson. That's my boy. But okay. Definitely need more wide receivers on this team. So Let's see who we can get with this. Steven, I see that in the chat. I'm gonna hide that because I can ban user and delete comments because stop it. Don't do that. There are way too many people in the chat room right now that are also in this draft. So we cannot disclose any of our picks. That is not stop it, Steven. Why are you doing this to me? Don't do it. You think you're having fun? I'm not having fun. Thanks, Steven. No. Stop it. Y'all too funny. Okay. Let's see who falls to us, though. Antonio Gibson. I can't believe y'all made me take Antonio Gibson. 30 picks ahead of ADP. Oh, man. That's funny, though. That's funny. I hope I don't artificially push Antonio Gibson's ADP up. Here, I'll just put it in the chat. Here we go. Put it in the chat for all y'all. It's right there. That's our Twitter. You can go ahead and copy paste that one. Taking Tua. You were exactly right. Tua Tagovailoa, match him up with Mr. Jalen Waddle. That is money in the bank. Gotta take some more Tua. I love me some Tua. So there you have it. We definitely need more wide receivers because our wide receiver room is very, very thin right now. But I don't love any of the guys on the board. Alan Lazard could have been a play. Who's our 10th round targets? Gino, Rogers, Gibson, Lazard, Jacoby. Y'all made me take Gibson in the freaking 8th round. So that is not an option anymore. We probably should have taken a wide receiver. That's who I would have taken. Would have taken a wide receiver up there. But y'all did not let me. So screw it. We'll just take some more shots at running back. Just because A-Chain's here and there's some more receivers we can get later on. We'll just fill it with this is looking like an 8 wide receiver build. But we'll take A-Chain to get more correlation with Miami. So we're building in that Miami-Baltimore. Look at that. Love having those guys on this team. That's looking like a force. But we definitely need more Atlanta-Chicago. So we'll look at stacking some more of those guys later on. But let's see. Okay, let's see if he's dropped the picks, the locks of the day. He has not done it yet. Steven asks, what do you think about the Texans this year? I like the Texans this year. I love that they brought in D'Amico Ryans. I think he's going to be a phenomenal coach in the NFL. I love CJ Stroud. I think he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback in the NFL. The receiver room is very thin right now. Their receiver room is essentially Nico Collins, John Mechie, Tank Dell. While I think it is a solid receiver room, I think they're lacking that alpha that can get open on any given play. So there's a lot to be desired, but I think that they can take a massive step forward in terms of what they put on the field last year. So I like CJ Stroud. I like that they're building around the defense. I know a lot of people really didn't like the Texans moving up and getting Will Anderson. I thought it was a great move. I don't think that they're going to be a top 8 pick come next year's NFL draft. Their competition in that division is very weak, and to be able to get Will Anderson, who personally I thought was the best player in the entire draft. And I know that is D'Amico Ryans' boy, being both from Alabama. I know he's probably been coaching this kid up for a while. So I really, really like the Texans this year. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team, but I think that they're going to be much, much improved from last year. And the fact that they're going so late in drafts feels like a value. But that is my take on the Texans. But okay, back to the draft. We are just completely bone dry at receivers, so we're probably just going to have to hammer wide receivers. I don't like having to take wide receivers in this 11th, 12th, 13th range, but screw it. That's what we're left with. Elijah Mitchell goes. That was one of the guys which we were thinking about, but not going to touch tight end for the rest of the draft. We'll see who we can get at wide receiver. We have some ideas. We definitely have some ideas that we could kind of play around with. We're gonna probably want to get 2 more quarterbacks. This feels like a 3-6-7-2 build, or no, maybe a 3-5-8-2 build. 3-5-8-2 probably isn't an ideal sort of play. We're gonna get Darnell Mooney in this draft though, to continue to stack the Atlanta-Chicago game. We don't have any guys on the Chicago side. We missed on DJ Moore, missed on Justin Fields. Those are the 2 initial guys we're going to target. But you guys made me reach on Antonio Gibson, so we're kind of running behind in this draft. Not going to look at Cole Kmet. Could look at some of these other guys down here. Interesting. Very interesting down here. Okay. We'll see, though, guys. We'll see. Okay, guys. Sorry. Got working some business deals right now. Oh, I'm on the clock. Shit. Who are we taking here? Need receiver. Alec Pierce. I like Alec Pierce. Think he's a riser. I think he's going a little bit too late as a second-year receiver. And I guess that opens us up to Colts Las Vegas in Week 17. But one thing that did catch my eye is the Colts play the Falcons in Week 16. So maybe he's a guy that can help us get to Week 17 with this particular team. And like I said, needing more wide receivers in this room, so he feels like a fine play for me. But okay. We'll see who falls back to us. Oh, that was our bring back against. So we got Mooney, Pierce. I'm glad we got 2 receivers there. Pierce just feels like the play there. Sorry, guys. Got some business deals got to work out right now. And we're still waiting on the MLB locks of the day from my boy Chosen. But appreciate you all sticking on the stream for so long. Looks like we're coming down to it. I know there's some particular guys I'm looking at for this pick. But we will see how it falls out to us. Jared Goff goes. Fine. Don't really care that Jared Goff goes right there. We're still 10 picks away. There's a few guys which we could look at. We'll see, though. We will see. But okay. Greg Dulcich goes. Greg Dulcich, I expect to be a riser. He goes at pick 146 on average right now. Greg Dulcich is a phenomenal player. I don't know if you guys are following the coach speak around Greg Dulcich right now, but Sean Payton loves Greg Dulcich. I love Greg Dulcich. So you guys should be loving Greg Dulcich too. Great player. But definitely going to need 2 more quarterbacks. I have 2 guys in mind. And if Steven doesn't spoil it for me by name dropping, maybe we'll be able to get both of them. But here we go. Back at our 13th round pick. We have only 3 running backs, so there's a few guys which I'm going to be particularly looking at. Loving the build out so far, though, even though we had to reach 30 picks on Antonio Gibson. But hold on, let me check my other. Gotta check my meeting calendar. Yes. Okay. So there's one thing I got to do. Let me send my guy this script right here. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we're up in 5. There are 4 guys I'm looking at now. This is an interesting spot. Hopefully it falls out to us the way that we want it to. But kind of circling back to the original title of the show. I don't think I've ever gotten into this, but what is the key to winning Best Ball Mania 4? I think the key to winning Best Ball Mania 4 is hammering wide receivers. So you want like 5 wide receivers through 9 or 10 rounds. That's kind of my rule of thumb. 5 wide receivers through 9 rounds. And that's going to leave you a little bit thin at running back, right? Well, guess what? The guy that you need as your RB3 is Antonio Gibson. I got him as my RB2 in this draft, so like didn't work it out exactly the way we wanted it to. But Antonio Gibson as your RB3, we're going to go Roshan here. Antonio Gibson as your RB3 is the way to build out your room. So you go anchor running back, get one guy in the first, second, or third round. You get a second running back in the second running back in kind of like the middling tier range, maybe in like the 8th, 9th, or 10th round. And then you hit Antonio Gibson in the 10th or 11th. That is the perfect way to construct your running back room so that you make sure that you also have an extremely powerful wide receiver room to basically get you those spike weeks that you need to take down a tournament this size. Because these tournaments are all of the money's at the top. It doesn't really matter if you make it to the playoffs because you get your money back. Great. That's not what we're looking for. That's not the goal of these sorts of drafts. You win your initial league, you get $25 back. That's not ideal. You want to win it all. You want to get to the playoffs. You want to get to you want to get to the semifinals. You want to get to the finals, and you want to finish in first in the finals. The way that you do that is you have the guys that can spike for 20, 30 points in a week. All right, who are we getting here? I guess we could wait at interesting spot here. Screw it. This is going a little bit off script. We're going Van Jefferson just because we need more receivers, and I think Van Jefferson is a guy that could contribute to this roster. Zurich C says, why so low on Brian Robinson? I think it's 50-50 which one leads the team in high-value touches. So I'm a Commanders fan. I've watched our games. Can't tell you how long I've been watching our games for, but Brian Robinson is just not a guy that's very inspiring. I know he was shot last year and then he returned in like 6 weeks. So miraculous turnaround. Props to him for being able to turn around that quickly. But he's just not a guy I'm particularly excited about in drafting. He's not a very efficient running back. He's not a pass catcher. And kind of the main thing which I'm focused on when I'm drafting running backs is the targets. And Antonio Gibson was a receiver in college. Antonio Gibson is 6'2", 230. He's built like a workhorse running back. He's bigger than Brian Robinson. And Brian Robinson is this bruiser running back. Antonio Gibson is bigger than Brian Robinson. So I expect Brian Robinson to like get like the first, second down touches. Like, sure, that's fine. He's going to be split in that role with Chris Rodriguez, who apparently Bieniemy really liked Chris Rodriguez, so that's why we drafted him. But Antonio Gibson is going to get all of the high-value touches. Antonio Gibson is going to be the guy that you're going to want on your team when the actual season plays out, because Antonio Gibson, I think Bieniemy really knows how to get the ball in the hands of his playmakers, and Gibson is one of our most dynamic playmakers on our offense. So I'm all in on Antonio Gibson this year. It's just the fact that people are asking these sorts of questions like, oh, Brian Robinson's there. Brian Robinson's going to get all the touches. Sure, Brian Robinson's going to get like 10 to 12 carries a game, maybe even 15 carries a game. That's fine. Antonio Gibson's going to get all the targets. So that's what I want in this offense. Look at Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler last year was RB1. Let's see how many carries he got. Austin Eckler last year got 204 carries. 915. He's never broken 1,000 rushing yards. Austin Eckler was RB1. Oh, man, this guy took Curtis Samuel from me? That's cruel. That guy's been sniping me. Is SD Rock CB in the chat? Because you've been sniping me left and right. But okay. Back to the draft. I wanted Curtis Samuel. That's unfortunate. Maybe we just go Josh Downs with this team. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. This is kind of a weird build. This is probably the weirdest roster I've ever built out. But I guess that's okay because we did some real funky things this draft. But it's Trey Lance too. What is happening? You guys are gonna make me reach on a quarterback now. This is cruel. This is very, very cruel. This is cruel and unusual punishment. I don't even know what to do. I do not like this team. It's because you guys made me reach on Antonio Gibson. But that's fine. Maybe this team can somehow make it out. You never know. It's only $5 though. I think I saw someone ask earlier, is this a puppy or a best ball mania? This is a puppy. I would never reach on ADP like that in a best ball mania. That's just a complete waste. So this is for sure a puppy draft. But I think we're going to reach at our next pick just to continue to build out the games that we want to build out. And then we'll focus on the back end of the draft to just hammer high potential guys. But liking the team so far. I like that everything is week 17 game stacked in offenses, which I expect to be much improved from last year. So I feel like they're a little bit of a value play. So we like the way that we're building this team. I'm not particularly liking that I had to reach 30 picks on Antonio Gibson. It is what it is. It happens. But I think in terms of the actual roster construction, it works for us. But like I said, guys, had to get my guy. Antonio Gibson. But we have, 7 receivers? Okay. We'll probably go receiver at our next pick. Few particular guys that I'm looking at. But I think I saw somewhere, Steven asked, what do you think about handcuffing RBs this year? I think it's fine to handcuff as long as both guys are very, very cheap. We're going to go ahead and take Chase Claypool here. I think taking two very cheap running backs in the same offense is fine because, like here, I took Roshan and Donta Foreman, pick 153, pick 177. Let's see what rounds those were. Round 13 and round 15 to get 2 guys that are potentially guys who are going to see a lot of work in what I expect to be a much improved offense in Chicago. I think that there is merit to doing so. Obviously, I've never done this in the past, so I don't know how it plays out, but we'll find out. Maybe an idea that we'll have, because after draft season, I mean, these streams are going to be over. But maybe an idea is to week in, week out, maybe once a week, we'll do a analysis/review of how we drafted our team so that we can inform our decision making for next year. So kind of like a monitoring event, essentially. So maybe each week we'll do a monitoring of how our teams are doing, how they're playing out, and see kind of reacting to how we should best build our teams for next year. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're building hypotheses here in the Best Ball Mania streets, and then later on we're going to do monitoring events to kind of analyze and build our learnings for next year. Some team RBs are positive correlating, can give you a unique team in the playoffs. That's very true. But okay, maybe this turns into a Brock Purdy team because I've been drafting a decent amount of Trey Lance, and I like Trey Lance. But since we have the San Francisco Cats, maybe we go Brock Purdy, and someone just sniped us on Sam Howell. So SD Rock, he keeps doing it. So I'm convinced SD Rock is in the chat because he keeps sniping us on our players. He's built out a really solid roster, though. Yeah, this guy has a good team. This guy might take down our draft room. So he might take the cake. Why are people so low on Khalil Herbert? It's because Khalil Herbert is terrible in pass protection. He's terrible in the pass game. So he's kind of like your typical 1-2 down grinder. I expect Khalil Herbert to lead the backfield in touches, but it's basically just a bet on the assumption that Khalil Herbert is the lead back because Khalil Herbert goes in what round? Khalil Herbert goes in the. Where does Herbert go? Khalil Herbert goes in the 10th round. So the fact that I can get the next two guys in the 13th and the 15th, I like that that potential that those two guys offer. But we're scraping bottom of the barrel at this point. My quarterback room is struggling, but looks like we can go two more quarterbacks to close out this room. I don't expect T. Smitty or Sam Lee to take a quarterback since they already have two. So I don't love this team, but I don't. Yeah, this is probably my least favorite team out of every single team that I've drafted so far. But we did it for y'all. We did it for the stream. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it because I certainly did not. But the bully tight end team is a first of its kind, and I am not going to do this again because going bully tight end and taking Antonio Gibson 30 picks ahead of ADP just felt very, very gross. So definitely not going to do it again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We are extremely stacked, though. Extremely game stacked for Week 17. So if somehow, some way, this team makes it to Week 17, it's an interesting build. I don't think we're going to have another team that's built this way. That's for sure. Especially only going 5 running back. Very sketch. But screw it. Screw it, guys. Maybe we have to go a 3rd running back or 6th running back instead of a 3rd quarterback. I definitely don't hate Ritter. San Francisco, Washington. Are there any other San Francisco? Maybe like a Jordan Mason. Could go Jordan Mason. Could go Chris Rodriguez. Could go Desmond Ritter. One of these guys. So do we go 6 running backs or 3 quarterbacks? I'm going to bet that Tua is going to carry us through. So we're going to take another running back. Screw it. Give me CPAT. We'll go Cordero Patterson just to get more correlation with that Atlanta game. Look at all those Atlanta guys that we got. So if somehow, this team probably not making it out of the group, but that's all right. We had fun. Hopefully you guys had fun too. And again, thank you everybody for joining me on today's episode of a Best Ball Draft Today. Really appreciate you guys continue to support the stream by just hopping on and being with me and engaging with me on the chat. But thank you all, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.